The African aviation sector is growing rapidly, but the infrastructure needs to evolve at the same pace. Airport Company South Africa, ACSA, is a company that currently manages a network of airports in South Africa. Alexander Herring from ADB SAFEGATE recently met Fundi Sithebe, Chief Operating Officer at ACSA, to explore her thoughts about the trends in the airport industry and learn more about the challenges and opportunities in South Africa.
I think just historically, because South Africa has always been the economic hub of Africa, we've largely seen a lot of passenger numbers, a lot of growth coming into South Africa. The growth, the real big growth that's coming out will be growth into Africa in terms of passenger numbers. However, the way that the infrastructure is still not adequately provided for within Africa, it does mean that some of that growth will not necessarily be seen immediately. So it does mean that Africa has really got to unlock its infrastructure growth to really unlock the potential, because I mean, we know that in terms of the global economy, Africa has so much to offer. So it makes sense that we keep up in terms of infrastructure to ensure that we are inviting investments, we are, inviting companies to come and operate into Africa. We make it easy for them to operate within Africa.
The African market is very interesting in the sense that the air traffic is expected to double in the next 20 years. Africa accounts to 15% of the world population, but only 2% of the air traffic. And for many international airlines, the African market is very interesting. So it will attract even more stakeholders, airlines, but also investors and financiers, and then also the whole business world. Africa is a market similar of the size of China, but it's a fast-growing market, and even more, it's a fast-growing market in terms of middle class.
Over the years, ACSA has transformed from a fragmented, state-run infrastructure company into a focused, customer-driven, efficient and commercially successful business, whose airports have become critical success factors to brand South Africa.
Probably historically, a lot of airports used to do things in compartmentalized, almost in silos. And what we're realizing as an airports business globally is that you need to move through a stage where the data really speaks to the entire passenger and stakeholder perspective. So no longer do you just then keep information just around passengers and only around airlines. It is now about integrating to really make informed decisions. So as ACSA, we're still in the process of really transforming our data journey, but the first step, we're very cognizant that now is really the time to put it all together, to really start to make informed decisions at the right time, and more importantly, to anticipate some of the trends. You understand in terms of data that by the time you really adjust your data and the trends, when it's happening, it's already too late. You need to be at the forefront, you need to be proactive. And I think the next real big thing, apart from infrastructure, is really transforming digitally. A lot of the construction of airports infrastructure has been outside. It is European countries, construction companies, the Turkish are quite big, and a lot of that needs to come back into Africa. I'm a big proponent that Africa must be developed by Africans. Yes, it's great to learn. Yes, it's great to leverage off the best players globally, but at some stage, Africa has to be self-sustainable. And by doing that, we must learn and we must quickly adapt to be able to build our own infrastructure. And for me, that's very critical. So there is also huge growth opportunities, but like I said, we still need to learn before we can independently do it ourselves. But I think that there's great potential and amazing opportunities for us.